welcome to our webinar. My name is Vicky Osmond and I am Senior Progression Lead at Hereford Sixth Form College, and I also work across our Multi-Academy Trust, and I work in the Careers Department as well as teaching some English literature. And I oversee our REACH programme, which is our social mobility programme, and it's aimed at our students who are considering really competitive entry courses, both to universities, but also increasingly some of my really able students are also considering the very competitive degree apprenticeships. We have a REACH programme which is for our high flyers, and these are students who are considering early application. Who are early applicants? Students who are considering applying to Oxford and Cambridge, often known as Oxbridge, and those who are applying for medicine, veterinary medicine and dentistry, they have to apply early to the University Admissions Service. They have to apply in October of year 2. So they will be applying this time next year. And those students therefore need to be prepared early. They need to have made those kind of choices, thought about their plans sooner than the majority of their year group, than the majority of their counterparts. Normal application for the other 800 students is November, December, and really important. So those students have more time to get everything sorted for a university or conservatoire, or perhaps for their degree apprenticeship application. So students who are even possibly considering early application, we need them prepared earlier, ready earlier, and they need to be able to make that informed choice. What is REACH for? The first thing is REACH is to help our high-flying students, regardless of background. Regardless of background, we help our high flyers consider the top competitive universities: Cardiff, Bristol, Durham, Warwick, Edinburgh, to name a few. And REACH is about considering all of those competitive universities, but also, as I said, the top apprenticeships. And the other thing is, by joining REACH, students can make realistic, successful applications to the universities that will suit them or the apprenticeships that will suit them. This also helps them consider whether they want to go through early application. And what I love about REACH is it's absolutely not about Oxbridge. They could choose to apply for Oxford and Cambridge medicine, veterinary medicine and dentistry. But if it's not right for them, we give them the tools to make an informed choice if they want to go through early application. Around 300 students are eligible for REACH. Those are students who already have impressive GCSE results, and they've been picked up because they have done fantastically at school. So well done. We automatically add everyone who did well at school. We also look for talent when it arrives with us, and this is something that we are really proud of. We look for students who have already impressed their teachers, have already got those early assessments on their target grades or heading in the direction of really, really good grades. And I sift through all of the data in the next weeks, looking for bright high achievers who might want to join REACH, and also anyone who wants to join. We don't mind if you haven't got good GCSEs for whatever reason. If things have gone on that have been a barrier to you getting those fantastic grades, you're welcome to join REACH. And that is of key importance. We will help you consider those top courses, regardless of your prior achievement, and often we'll put those into context when you're applying. We're going to look at lots of different options, but we'll start with universities. Very important. A lot of my students now are worried about university because of the monetary situation. And it is also worth knowing that a lot of those traditional universities, the very competitive, what we might call kind of higher tariff universities, they often have very generous bursaries. And every year I have students who are going away to University College London, King's London, Birmingham, Bristol, with very generous bursaries, particularly if you are from a family where finances are a concern. And this is very important. So this is something to know that there may well be that support in place. With the fees often comes bursary support. The second thing to know is that we have an incredibly good reputation at Hereford Sixth Form College. This is some boring data that I really enjoy, but there's the HESA data universities have on us. And students from Hereford Sixth Form College are independent, are motivated. They have come to lessons prepared. We do not spoon feed you. We are not overly generous at the beginning, and it takes time to get those high grades in so many of your subjects. And the students will be finding that already. It's a huge step up, and it's a slow process, and we will get you to the top grades. And universities know that about us. They know that we have these mature students. So statistically, our dropout rate from university is lower than the state sector, lower than the independent sector. And so some universities give us lower offers, and universities, we have a really positive national reputation that goes with coming from us. We've got a big careers team. We're really honest, we're supportive, but we help our students to become independent, ready for that next step. And the universities know that about us. And so that's another thing that you get just being at Hereford. That's what universities and apprenticeship providers know of us, that we help build those steps to those high grades. And we do have, as I said, really fantastic treatment by a lot of the top universities. And we get a lot of preferential treatment from those competitive places. Which universities are the most traditional and often very competitive, that will be asking for those very competitive grades? These used to be called the Russell Group. They're often called higher tariff research universities. These aren't better. This is really important. They aren't necessarily better universities. These are the more traditional universities that offer perhaps slightly more traditional courses. That might not be right for your students, for your young people. And that's another thing that we're going to help them think about in Reach. Do they want to go for those traditional courses, or would they like to go to somewhere more modern, more innovative courses? But we want you to have all of the options so you can make an informed choice. So these are some of the top universities. And as I said, world-class universities like Birmingham, Bristol, Cambridge, Cardiff. Cardiff is our most popular university for Hereford Sixth Form College students. So what grades do I need to apply to competitive courses? So GCSE results do matter. Ideally, we want, if we're from Wales, we want the A's, A stars, perhaps the B. However, contextual information is very important. So, for example, if your school was going through a difficult patch, or for example, you had illness, perhaps you are the first in your family to apply for university, you perhaps don't live with your parents or carers. So really important to be in communication with us. If you don't have those high-flying GCSEs because there have been valid things going on with your life, this is of vital importance. The top universities will want to meet you. You could well be the most exciting candidate they would meet. And that's the other thing that Reach does, is it helps you consider and apply, and we put all of that into context. So if your GCSE results didn't go as they might have done, for whatever reason, that's okay. And we will help you to still make those competitive applications. Choice of A-level subjects does matter, particularly for the science-based degrees. And also it's worth knowing that those traditional courses often want those tough subjects with lots of exams. We should be aiming for the best grades. It will take time to get there. I teach English literature, and I know a lot of students start on English literature on really low grades, and it takes time to get from those level 2s all the way up. But we will get you to those really high grades. So don't worry if the step up feels big at this stage. We should be aiming for the best grades. It'll take time, but we only need those predicted grades at the beginning of year 2. If we're thinking about Oxbridge, for some of those traditional courses, they do want traditional exam-based A-levels, and actually A-levels rather than certificates. Universities such as Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, Warwick, Durham and Edinburgh would like you to have a traditional subject, and they used to be called facilitating subjects. Oxford and Cambridge usually want 2, and Oxford and Cambridge don't really see the more vocational qualifications as competitive, partly because Oxford and Cambridge are offering a very exam-based degree. And so they don't want subjects where it's a lot of coursework along the way. So actually, if you do love the coursework, the vocational subjects, which is so fantastic, actually you may not enjoy the course at Oxford or Cambridge. So worth knowing that. But if you were considering about Oxford or Cambridge, it needs to be a 3 A-level programme rather than the more vocational subjects. The subjects that those really traditional courses would still like you to have at least one of is maths, further maths, physics, chemistry, biology, history, English literature, French, German, geography, and then a very close second tier, the universities like philosophy and ethics, economics, computer science, or music, if you are interested in economics or interested in computer science or music. And computer science, really at the top universities, they'll be looking at you having a lot of maths, the same with some other subjects. But if you're curious, Success at School Facilitating Subjects has a list. And if you've got any questions, that's something to ask in the chat if you have any queries. Do subjects matter? So for those very competitive traditional universities, for maths, physics, computer science or engineering, they would like you to have a lot of maths. They would really like you to, if possible, have maths and further maths next year. It's very, very difficult to apply to Imperial College London or to Durham, Edinburgh, Oxford, Cambridge, UCL without maths and further maths. So if you're considering maths, physics, computer science or engineering, really worth getting as much maths as you can. A law degree to become a barrister, quite a few of the very competitive universities like you to be on a really big essay subject, facilitating subject or two, and maybe law A-level as a third. Some of those law courses wouldn't accept the criminology certificate. So it's really important if you're considering the very traditional courses, those very traditional exam-based courses, again, is worth making sure that we are looking at those A-levels that are going to open those doors for us. Medicine, I'm hoping everyone has already had this from Dr. Phil Evans, who supports all our medics, vets and dentists. They'll want biology and chemistry and another A-level. For Oxbridge, as I said, it's those traditional A-levels at 2 and then a third. And they want you to be taking 3 A-levels in your second year. If you've taken maths in year 1, that's fantastic. They'll want you to take 3 in your second year. What about, do I have to know what I need to study? No, absolutely not. It's really important to know this is what Reach is going to cover. We'll help you consider all of your options. But I want you to know if you definitely wanted to do those things, I want the doors to be open to you, to computer science at Oxford or Cambridge or Warwick, or engineering or physics or maths at Durham. Do I need 4 A-levels? This is really important. The universities will want you to be studying 3 A-levels in your second year. They'll ask for 3. They don't ask for 4. Some of my bright students do 4, but universities just look at the top 3 grades. And I always have this kind of difficult balance. Doing 4 keeps you busy. You might want to do 4. That's fantastic. But what I definitely don't want is for a student to be asked for 3 A's for law at Manchester, one of the best universities in the global rankings. It's absolutely fantastic, Manchester. You need to get your 3 A's, or even, for example, some might ask, for law might ask for A star AA. And you're doing 4 and you get 2 A's and 2 B's. And then we'd be making those calls to Manchester, talking on results day to them. I'm happy for students to do 4, but know that I definitely don't want you to overstretch yourself and underperform in maybe all of them, because it's such a lot of work to do 4. If you're doing maths in year 1, you will have 4 because you'll continue with your further maths and your other 2 in your second year. If you want to do the 4, that's fine, but you are only going to need 3 for university. And I definitely don't want you to stretch yourself too thin. And as I said, further mathematicians will end up with 4. Are you thinking about Oxbridge or medicine-based subjects? For medicine students will have a UCAT, and this is one of the things that Dr. Phil will start preparing you for. You sit a UCAT in the summer between first and second year. It is essentially an incredibly tough intelligence test. And that is one of the things that those students who are doing medicine, veterinary medicine, dentistry will have. Their reach lessons will be with Dr. Phil, because you will need extensive prep for that. You will do about 50 hours of preparation for the UCAT, and you have to have a score of 2,400 or more to get into medical school interviews. And that's really important, that actually you need voluntary work, but you need to get that score in the UCAT. And that's why we have such extensive prep, and also why we're successful. Some medical schools will ask for the BMAT, the biomedical admissions test, so we can prepare you for that as well. A lot of the courses at Oxford, Cambridge, Warwick, and Imperial ask you to sit an admissions test. They are trying to sort out students who are top grades from other students with top predicted grades. So, for example, that might be the TMUA, the MAT for maths, ELAT for English, HAT for history, LNAT for law, and that's actually set for most big law courses. TSA, which is Thinking Skills Assessment, classics or philosophy. We prepare you for all of those. We prepare you. You don't need to worry. You don't have to go this alone. This is why we're here. And then let's just talk for a moment about Oxbridge. How does Hereford Sixth Form College do? In 2023, 21 students went to study. That was 33% of those who applied, when the national average is around 15%. And every year, The Spectator publishes the Oxbridge files. We're ranked 38th in the country of overall offers. But I think, and this makes me much more proud, we are in the top 10 at the number that apply to the number of offers. Because my students go through Reach, and then they confidently tell me they do not want to go for Oxbridge because they have found a course at Bath, at Birmingham, at Aston, at Durham that they prefer. They prefer the course at these other world-class universities that they have learned about. That is why we get such great applicant to offer ratios, because my students know that Oxford and Cambridge aren't some magically better education. They choose the right universities or apprenticeships for them. Is it all about Oxbridge? Absolutely not. If we have around 300 students, some years it's been as many as 400 students who choose to join Reach, only 100 go through early application. The other 200 or maybe even 300 students choose not to go for Oxbridge. And that is the point of Reach. Some examples here. We look at a student who went to a musical conservatoire, and she was an amazing musician. She was considering the top universities for music, but she went to a creative university. Matt, studying maths at Imperial College London, one of the best STEM universities in the world. Errol, the bottom left, who's studying computer science at Warwick. Fleur, doing law at Leeds, and talking about how Leeds law is the best course in the country. And this is why students go through Reach. They learn about so many different universities. They don't feel pressured to apply for Oxbridge. Absolutely not. Reach is not about Oxbridge. It's about making an informed choice. And the other thing is this: we celebrate all of the destinations our students go on to. We even have a huge celebration event in May where we have our degree apprentices, our medics, our drama school students, those who are going to conservatoires, work with training. We have a huge celebration event in May, and then we feature students from all different courses on our social media from May all the way through until results day, because we are about all of those options. We help students make the right choice and be successful. We have students going off to a huge range of amazing courses. And this is really important. I invite all the students to a big event in May. So what about the medics, vets and dentists? So this year, 8 of our medics got offers, which is a 40% success rate. The national average is about 25%, and that is probably because of Dr. Phil and his preparation for UCAT, and also all of the preparation we do to get them their voluntary work early, to get them prepared early. For the veterinary medics, we had 4 students with offers, which was an 80% success rate. We don't have the national averages for that, but veterinary medicine is incredibly difficult, and 80% is among the best in the country. And then let's talk for a moment about apprenticeships. These days, a lot of my very, very bright students are also considering apprenticeships. Students have gone on to degree apprenticeships with Airbus, IBM, BAE Systems, the police, digital marketing and law. And one of the ways we do this is not only giving alumni support to those who've gone to universities, but we also are building a big alumni network of our degree apprentices. So it is incredibly important to know that this is what the students get access to. Students have gone on to universities, but also students have gone on to those competitive degree apprenticeships. What is it worth you knowing? It's worth knowing that degree apprenticeships are not the weaker brethren of a university degree. And that is a notion we can throw away now. A degree apprenticeship, I would argue, is you have to be more organised than a university degree. They are highly competitive. You have to do lots of different rounds of applications, and they will be looking and you will be competing with other students who are getting those very, very high grades. And this, I think, is a way we're going to look ahead. And for me, this is very exciting and something I want to continue developing in Reach. Degree apprenticeships mean no debt, leaving university with, you have your degree and you're working. It is very, very tough to get. And you can't think you're just going to walk into an apprenticeship, but we have a big range of support. And our head of careers is actually a specialist in this, Nerys Evans. So that's another option for my students on Reach. They may be in Reach thinking about university or contemplating a degree apprenticeship. How are we so successful? We have a Reach programme, which is delivered by myself and 3 colleagues. It starts in January. Students settle in for this term. It's a huge change. New teachers, new site, perhaps you're travelling a long distance. You've got so much to process. And don't worry, you don't have to be there yet. Don't worry if those early assessments are tough. You will get there step by step. Don't worry. You will get there and we will help you. All us as curriculum staff will as well. From January, Reach is put onto your timetable. It's 1 hour a week. And it's a community for our gifted and talented. It's where you will be with other driven students who are like you. The students who are aiming high like you, who sit in maths and think, oh my goodness, this is hard, like you, who sit in chemistry and this is incredibly tough. And that you will find lifelong friends in Reach. And it's a time when you can have a community who are in the same struggles, you want to chat with one another, you can talk about the choices you're making, think about your careers. In these sessions, you learn about 14 different universities, and you also learn about 2 apprenticeship providers. You have support to find supercurricular, beyond A-level study opportunities, whether that's webinars, articles to read, how to make you competitive for those universities. You don't need to do anything. We help you. That's what we're there for. We also give you careers lessons early, in case some of those students will want to go through early application to Oxbridge medicine, veterinary medicine, dentistry. So we help you get those careers lessons early. We also help you with your personal statement and with mock interviews. That is all done in Reach, and we get you prepped really early in case. And the other thing is, by joining Hereford Sixth Form College Reach, my students who've gone through Reach, they come back tomorrow afternoon. I actually have 2 students coming back in to help students who are currently going for medicine and those other competitive courses. You might email an ex-student, they come back, they'll help you, they might do mock interviews, they might chat with you on Teams, and you are joining this community of students, past and present, who will help you, who will look out for you. So we've got this big alumni network because students have gone through Reach and are so appreciative, and they have found the right course at Cardiff Met or Swansea for motorcycle engineering, and they are willing to communicate with you. We also have a lot of visits, and universities come to us We get really fantastic opportunities. So, for example, in November, Oxford and Cambridge come to us. I organise multiple trips to Oxford and Cambridge, and you can go and see these universities. We have medics coming in. We have a connection with the Chief Veterinary Officer for Wales. So we get lots of visits to universities and from specialists. How does it work? Students can January through to May of Reach. And then in about May, they'll say, Vicky, I don't want to go for Oxford and Cambridge. I'm going to go for a degree apprenticeship with, or I found all of these universities, but actually I love Leeds, Warwick. I fall in love with a course at Warwick because it's connections with the Royal Shakespeare Company. I want to go to Imperial as my number one. You decide if you want to go for early application to Oxford and Cambridge, medicine, veterinary dentistry, or not, as the majority of students. 300 students can make an informed choice. About 100 choose to go for Oxford, Cambridge, be medics, vets, and dentists. All the others find other courses you prefer at other world-class universities, other world-class apprenticeships. The other thing is, some of my students do reach and they're not ready yet. So, for example, they might want to apply on a gap year. And my gap year students are very, very successful. Even they might need more time. You might go through normal application, or you can apply on a gap year. And gone are the days when gap years are considered negatively. I have a student who's on my YouTube channel at the minute. He had a gap year and has gone to Cambridge to do computer science. So the old adage of maths universities not liking a gap year, we haven't found to be the case. So students might want more time. They might want a gap year. They may want to travel, to work, to research more. Your normal application, if you don't go through early application, is November or December. And so how do we do well with early applicants? Only the students who want to go for medicine, veterinary medicine, dentistry, or Oxbridge, go for it. They want that style of teaching. They are going to be long-term getting the top flight grades. It won't happen yet. It takes a while, but you are going to get there. And you love that course at that university for medicine or for Oxford or Cambridge. It's not magically better than these other world-class universities like Cardiff. You go for that university, not for the kudos, not for the name, but for the course. And you only apply if you're ready to apply early. We get you started so you can make that informed choice. Then we also have our masterclasses, and these along the top change every year. But we also offer you a taste of university life. In addition to Reach, some students may do our HSSC masterclasses, which are supported by Christ College, Cambridge. Now these, I always think of them, they're 3 Wednesday afternoon masterclasses in March and April in a range of subjects. You don't have to do them if you have rugby. I've got a couple of rugby students from last year who could never do the masterclasses. Or if you've got musical commitments, you'll have lots of other opportunities. But if your Wednesday afternoons are free, you could do a taste of university life. You'll find out about them in Reach, but they are 3 Wednesdays that you sign up for one subject to explore in 3 sessions. I always think of it like 3 trips to university lectures that we run on site for free. 3 lectures from a medic, 3 lectures about English literature, 3 lectures about international politics and economics, 3 lectures in law, in geology, and natural sciences and maths. And these are subject to change. I already know there have been a couple of changes. We've got a psychology this year, and they're free. They give you a taste of university life. You sign up in late January in Reach lessons. Again, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. Settle in, get everything ready, enjoy the term. You sign up in Reach lessons. And these sessions are designed to stretch the students beyond A-level, introduce you to new ideas you've never come across. For example, in international politics, you might do the Irish Troubles and find out about that particular area of international politics. And you might well do the psychology of music, or you might learn about light in natural sciences, or be introduced to the history of medicine. And they are designed to be totally outside the A-level curriculum and exciting for that reason. If you don't or can't attend the masterclasses, you aren't disadvantaged. You still get all those weeks of reach. What are the top universities like Oxbridge Veterinary Medicine looking for? This is all the top courses though. They're looking for academic ability and potential. You don't have to be there, but your journey is exciting. You will start likely on the low grades, particularly in those tough subjects, but you'll get there because you've got potential. They want you to be flexible in thinking, respond to new ideas. They want you to think clearly and critically, and they want you to enthusiastically engage with new ideas. That is what we give you as a college in your subjects. That's what we're like as a college. We are encouraging you to engage with new, challenging ideas. What do they not care about? They don't care about a smooth performance. I have a student who's currently doing maths at Oxford. I don't think she made eye contact with her interviewer. She was the brightest mathematician. They wrote to me after she'd applied and she'd been given an offer and said she was the most exciting mathematician they'd met. She wasn't a smooth performer. She wasn't confident, but she did love maths and she loved her subject. They don't mind if you're not a good public speaker. They just want you to love folding proteins in chemistry or whatever it is that you're fascinated by in chemistry. They want you to be a geek about your subject. They don't mind about extracurricular. You won't get into Cambridge or Imperial or Durham or Warwick on your rowing or your rugby. It might show that you've got capacity. And some of my elite athletes are balancing a huge amount of training with their academic A levels. That shows capacity, but you won't get in on your sport. You'll get in because you've got those great grades and you've got capacity to do sport, to do that wonderful ballet, the music, all the other things. But those won't get you in. You'll get in with those A levels. And they don't mind why you selected a particular college if you're applying for Cambridge or Oxford. They want you to just be a geek about your subject. I love this phrase, get comfortable being uncomfortable. College is a new level of independence. And I'm sure it has been a challenging, wonderful, hopefully, few weeks. And well done. Well done. Because probably by coming here, you've got out of your comfort zone. You are already stepping into that level of independence. And that is amazing. And I think that's really, really worthy of applauding yourself if you are a student listening, because that is a huge step into your future, that step into independence. And stay in that uncomfortable, stretch yourself, keep trying. Challenge yourself to be the best, to enjoy making those mistakes, those little steps from those tough grades, slowly making that progress. Do explore your subject in depth, engage with the learning, prepare for lessons, enjoy your subjects. This is your time. This is your time to just fall in love with your academic subjects. Do more, read, research, learn. All of the things we give you opportunities, the library, the VLE, the careers hub. There's such a lot of resources that are available to you. Take the opportunities on impact that you're learning about with your tutors. Really engage with that. This at the moment is free. It's free. And we want to give you so many opportunities, so many tools. I really would recommend you use them. These are the kinds of things that the top universities and the top apprenticeships are looking for. Enthusiasm for learning, independent thoughts, mental agility, trying out new ideas, bringing together challenging things. Capacity, the ability to think critically and analytically, that you like absorbing new ideas. When you are going into new physics lessons and learning about, forces, that you are, okay, let's go, come on, let's try this. In history, when you're being introduced to the Tsars of Russia, you actually engage with it. You've got a passion for your subject. You are intellectually curious and you like being stretched. Even if you've got those top flight GCSEs, that you actually want to stretch yourself further, push yourself more, and that you like hard work and it'll take time to get to those top flight grades, but it's worth it. For medicine, you guys have already had your first meeting with Phil. Big things, worth getting some voluntary work. You guys all know this. Work experience online or in person, webinars, MedSoc, definitely worth getting that. Summer schools, things like helping out at your local food bank, check your impact portal. You know this already, but anything where you get to talk to people and realise that medicine isn't glamorous. For university or apprenticeships, you'll have library sessions later in the year, but in the careers hub, there are reading lists. There are reading lists. You can get a reading list for astrophysics, for theology, for law, and have a little look at it. You get opportunities emails. They'll start from me at the end of October. You get your first opportunities email. Just scan it. Think, oh, I'd like to go to that, or mention that. Do check your impact opportunities. Sign up for something. I'll be your referee. So just contact me and say, Vicky, I'm interested in applying for this. Will you be my referee? Yes. Okay. So do check impact opportunities. There's so many things on there, from table tennis club to academic things. The March masterclasses are HSFs masterclasses in March and April. You'll have reach lessons. Perhaps you want to set up a book club. Go to Creative Writing Society on a Tuesday. Academic discussion group. That's a great idea. Set one up. See if there is one. There's a law society. Go to debate society. In your second year, you might want to take an EPQ, an extended project qualification. You find out about that from your tutor. You do it in your second year. Debate society is massive. There might be masterclasses. We'll put them on the impact opportunities, and I'll email you too. You might go to study days, Oxford, massive open online courses. These are free. MOOCs. Oh, definitely worth looking at some MOOCs. Don't pay for the certificate. You don't need to. It should be that you can do it for free. So if there's one that you have to pay for the certificate, don't worry about the certificate. Just do the MOOC in machine learning and AI, or whatever your interest is. Massive open online courses. They're really good. I'll teach you about them in Reach as well. And the VLE. We pay as a college thousands of pounds for you to have access to articles, JSTOR, amazing. I'm right outside the library. You've got all the books there, but then all of the online things in our library journals as well. This is like university. Most students simply don't have these opportunities until they go to university. And so I think it's worth knowing that we have this, huge resource base to help you with, if you need help with your studies, textbooks, ebooks. You don't need to spend any money. You could be making those successful applications because of the support we give you and the resources we provide. What's the timeline? So settle in November and December. You have your first mocks. Don't worry if they go badly. Don't worry. You'll be fine. You'll get there step by step. At the end of January, Reach lessons will go onto your timetable. You don't need to do anything. But if you don't want Reach and you don't go, I'll take it off. It's absolutely not for everyone. And I absolutely don't want to make students go. If you don't come to Reach, that's not a problem. It's only for the students who want to join this community of the most able. That's so important. It's only for those who would like this. It's absolutely not mandatory. Phil and I will email and be in contact. For example, when Cambridge and Oxford come in, I'll contact the students, remind them, tell them where to go. Always worth checking your emails, And I know it's very busy on emails, but again, that's part of that independence. That's stepping into your adult self. Hopefully, that's answered lots of queries. What should you be doing now? Big things, read and think beyond your subject, perhaps the library, maths webinars, Isaac physics. Think, enjoy your subjects, enter into those subjects. Keep records. Use Impact on the portal. You just started your tutorial lessons, your impact lessons. Keep a record of everything you read. I might write about that in your reference. So do record everything on your portal, what you've read. For example, I know in English literature, you've always got reading loads of articles. You might be reading something in history or for philosophy and ethics about, utilitarianism or whatever you're studying at the minute, cosmological argument. Log it on your portal. Log it on your portal. Read this article, got a part-time job. I've got this. Log it on Impact on your portal, because then we could write about it in your reference. Record what you think about a masterclass. That might be the basis of a personal statement or an application for an apprenticeship. It was after this I thought this, really enjoyed this, never thought about this before, never heard about dementia, didn't realize its prevalence, found that fascinating. I'm going to go away and do a MOOC on the prevalence of dementia. Follow your interest. Podcasts, I love podcasts, webinars, articles, TED Talks, MOOCs, YouTubes. Follow your academic interest. Push yourself. In lots of subjects, you'll start on a low grade, and that's okay. But show potential. Just go to workshops, settle in, work hard, step by step, you'll get to those high grades. You will start on low grades in some subjects, and some subjects it is tough. Tough. Don't worry. Go to workshops, get the support, enter into your subjects. You do not need to be on A stars now. In fact, no one will be. But by the end of the year, I teach English literature. I see students who are on a steady level 3, a kind of C, but I know they're going to get to an A and A star. I see where they're going. They're on a steady C, their skills are getting there, they're learning the style of writing, they're learning critical analysis. I can see they're going to an A. They're going to be world class. But by the end of year 1, they're on a C. I know they're going to the top. It takes time. Have you shown potential? And at the end of this year, your teachers write a reference about you. At the end of the year, you'll learn more about that in Reach. Student-driven. This is important. You don't have to be in Reach. I'm not going to chase you. It's really important for you to choose, for the students to choose to enter into this. Read your college emails. Be motivated. This is what we're offering you. This is an amazing opportunity. And I think this is also important. I always get emails from these kind of preparation programs saying, would you like to get preparation to go for Oxford or Cambridge? It's £250 an hour, £500 for 3 hours. This is free. World-class education, outstanding sixth form, world-class university system that you could go on to, world-class apprenticeships. Take the opportunity now. And it's really worth it to get those steps to those top grades.